閃亮登場，全新 Chevrolet Cruze。歐洲記者評為2010年最佳汽車，係印度嘅年度最佳汽車，又係世界巡迴錦標賽英國、意大利、德國同巴西各站嘅冠軍。世界驗證咗呢部輕型汽車嘅不平凡故事。全新 Chevrolet Cruze 同級車系中最慳油，10個標準安全氣袋，加拿大最佳保養服務，超越一般駕駛。Cruze。
就是我们之前这个活在5点的节目呢，一直讲的都是，比如说香氛啊、招财兔啊、美容养生啊，都是这个女性的观众朋友比较感兴趣的这个话题。那今天呢，男性朋友我们就要为你们谋福利了啊，因为我们请来的是这个酒类的产品 French Rabbit 的品牌经理 Rachel DuBois 女士，以及这个Berry Brothers and Ross 这个北美品牌发展经理 Ross Hundred， 他为我们带来的是这个 Glen Ross 的这个 whisky， 是非常好的一种酒。Okay, so Rachel, you go first. Okay, we're going to talk about the French Rabbit wines. So, could you tell us a little bit about its background? Like, when did it come to Ontario, or when did it establish?
Sure. So, French Rabbit is actually owned by Boisset Estate Wines, and they have other French wines in Ontario. But obviously today, in celebration of the Chinese New Year, I thought that the French Rabbit wines were a perfect fit.
It's the year of the rabbit.
It is the year of the rabbit and the year of the French rabbit, hopefully. And so Boisset, as a winery, is recognized as one of the top producing French wineries in the world, and they've prided themselves on innovation, French Rabbit being one of those products. The French Rabbit was introduced into the LCBO in 2005 in partnership with the LCBO, pioneering the Tetra Pak
so
packaging.
It's kind of new to the GTA customers, to our GTA customers?
Well, it's been here for about 6 years.
6 years.
6 years, yeah. But it was one of the LCBO's environmental initiatives to show their support in being more green and being more environmentally friendly.
That's why the package is so different from the other like wine bottles like this one. So, what kind of wines does it have?
Well, in Ontario, we have 5 different varietals of the family of French Rabbit wines. So we have a Cabernet Sauvignon. We have the Merlot, French Rabbit Merlot. In our whites, we have the Chardonnay. We also have a Pinot Noir. And as an organic addition to the family, made from organically grown grapes,
can I take a look at it?
Of course you may. Is our Green Rabbit. Green Rabbit.
Green Rabbit, like this one? This is the organic one,
yes.
Right? Okay, so I saw this a little bit like smaller than the bottles. Is it really like there's less wines in there?
Well, we actually did have, we used to have the smaller 500 milliliter size in Ontario. We no longer have that size, but the sizing that we do have is 1 liter. So this is actually a very
1 liter.
1 liter, contrary to the 700 most bottles that are 750 milliliters. This is more, almost the equivalent of 2 glasses per container. So for the price, the same price of the equivalent 750 milliliter, you're getting a value and you're getting 2 extra glasses out of the 1 liter format.
What about the price of these?
All of these wines, with the exception of the organic, are $12.95.
$12.95
with the LCBO, and the organic one is $13.95. So very good value.
OK， 所以呢，这个 Rachel 跟我们讲了是这个French Rabbit 这个品牌啊。它一共有5种酒，所以红酒和白酒的种类基本上都有，而且它最特别的是它有这个 organic 这种，is it Merlot?
Yes.
Organic 的 Merlot 也是非常的就是很环保，而且很健康，而且最好的就是您别看啊，它这个包装是这样的，好像牛奶啊或者果汁一样，其实它这里面它是有1升的酒，然后呢它也比那个就是普通的酒的酒瓶啊，它只有750毫升的酒，所以这个呢是要更划算一点，因为它里面装的酒更多。 最好的就是它这个价格也不是很贵，因为它在这个法国也算是从法国来的一个很好的品牌呢，它只卖12块9毛5，就是这4种酒卖12块9毛5，然后这种酒因为它是 organic 就贵1块钱。要卖13块9毛5，所以呢，虽然说您看它是这样的包装，但是其实它是，算是物美又价廉，也是非常好的。Okay, so let's go to the Glenrothes. Did I pronounce
well
it right?
done. Yep.
Okay, because I know nothing about whiskey. Okay, Glenrothes. This is a very classic brand. I did some research. On the internet, but you still gotta help me out here.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about its background.
Okay, the Glenrothes has been a distillery that's been around since 1878, established in 1879. And the brand itself started off in the early to mid 1990s, around 1994.
Oh.
Before that, we were just producing whiskey to go into blends, so things like Chivas Regal and Johnny Deers and Famous Grouse and the like. However, the whiskey was of such quality that it deserved its own single malt brand. Now, what we do at the Glenrothes is slightly different, is that where you'll see whiskies in your local LCBO that would be 10, 12, 15, 18, 21, 25 years old, we do our whiskies based on vintages because we've got a commitment to maturity, not age. Just like people, whiskey automatically doesn't become good at 12 years old or bad at 9 years old, right? So it's about when the whiskey reaches peak maturity, it comes out of the cask.
Means it's older than the other whiskies.
It doesn't necessarily mean that it's older. It just means that we believe that it's reached its very peak. You know, it's not going to get any better or any worse, and it's time to come out of the cask and go into the bottle. So with this one, the whiskey was distilled in 1985 and bottled in 2005. So essentially, it's a 20-year-old whiskey. Okay, but again, it was all about maturity and not age with the Glenrothes.
OK， 所以说它这个讲的可能是19，我也不是太明白这个 whisky 到底是一个怎么生产的过程啊。但是这个 Glenrothes 呢，它属于的是一种单一麦芽的 whisky。然后这种 whisky 它有什么特殊的地方呢？就是说是完全由同一家蒸馏酒的这个制造厂制造的，但是呢，它不一定是说就是说必须得是同一个酒罐里头产出来的这一瓶 whisky， 它可能是从好几个这个酒罐里来把它 mix 在一起，然后形成的这瓶酒，它是2005。
Yes, bottled 2005, distilled 1985.
OK， 所以它是1985年是装瓶，可能是这样。然后呢，它是
1985 it was distilled, so the whiskey was produced in 1985. It was kept in casks until 2005, and then it was put in the bottle.
Oh, sorry， 我真是不太懂这 whisky。就是说2005年它装的瓶，1985年出产，所以是20年的酒啊，真是非常的好。OK， so let's talk about the taste and the smell.
Well, the 1985 vintage, in particular, is it's a very fruity, very spicy whiskey. It's got very good balance. It's almost equidistant on the palate. The start is very complex, and the finish is very complex as well. It's very long. It's very smooth. You won't get any of that burn that's associated with cheaper.
It's very hard liquor.
Yeah, it's 43% alcohol by volume.
43%.
43%, yeah. But you won't get any of that burn because it's very smooth.
Okay.
There's a lot of flavour in there from like dried fruit, like raisins, currants, sultanas, ginger, some nuts. You know, caramel, some fudgy notes, some vanilla, some citrus. You know, a lot of flavours in a lot of these different whiskies, right?
Okay.
And this is actually a very allocated product. There's only about 11 months of this left, and then it's done forever because you can't go back to 1985 and make more whiskey, right?
OK， 所以呢，它这个 Glenrothes Vintage 1985年的这个酒呢，是它这个产量也是非常有限的，而且它这个酒是入口是非常的酒味是非常的浓郁，而且非常的复杂，要观众朋友们自己去体验，而且它的余香是非常非常的长，所以真的是非常非常好的酒。What about the price?
It's 164.99 $164.95.
OK， 所以它是164.95。对于我们这种人来说，当然是有点贵，但是对于这些爱好酒、收藏酒的男士来说呢，164.95能买到这样一瓶好酒，真是非常非常难得了。好了，现在呢，访问环节就完了，观众朋友们要赶快啊，拿起电话来拨打我们这个本台的这个电话来，只要讲出有“兔”字的这个贺年的贺语，就会送出这些面前的这些奖品了啊！你要赶快拨打了。OK，so thanks for joining us tonight. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
For having us.